Hello, and welcome to part 3 of my video series summarizing the book that Chris and I just recently read together, The 4 Seasons of Marriage by Gary Chapman. This is the third video, so if you missed the first two videos, you can go back and check them out on our Instagram page at mysideofthebed_, our Facebook page, My Side of the Bed, and also on our YouTube channel, Chris and Leisha Hayes. So today we are looking forward to our spring season of marriage because we are coming off of this icy, cold, bitter season of winter. So I want to talk about something positive now. So our springtime means that we'll start to see nature's beauty. We'll start to see our flowers blossom and the temperatures will start to get warmer outside. So that's where our spring begins. It's most marriages will start in the spring season. It's an excitement of creating this new life together. So our 3 items that we talk about that will push us into a new season and determine how long we stay in that season is our emotions, our attitudes, and our actions. So we'll first talk about the attitudes of, no, not the attitudes. We won't start with attitudes. We'll start with the emotions. We'll start with emotions of spring. So our emotions of spring is excitement and joy, and we feel hope, something that we did not have in winter, but that was almost like that positive side of winter is that there's still hope. But now that we're in the spring, we have hope. We have that hope emotion. We feel happy about our future together. The attitudes of spring is the anticipation, the gratitude, the love, the trust that we have for one another. And our attitude regarding these life changes is the most important thing. Our attitude changes to a positive attitude. We look at these opportunities as new beginnings, and we start to think of our glass being half full versus half empty. We don't let this little rain determine our season. So sometimes we may get that rain in the spring, but our attitude about the rain is, oh, it's just a little sprinkle, it'll pass over, instead of it ruined the party. So our attitude is naturally positive in the spring. So spring is also about learning how to communicate with your spouse. And although your relationship may not be perfect in the spring, and we'll see the difference when we talk about our summer season. We'll see the difference in summer season. Our relationship is perfect, right? But for spring, it's not always perfect, but it's our attitude that makes it spring. So our attitude about this not perfect relationship is we're seeking counseling. We're getting better. We're working on it. I'm grateful for what we have together. So that positive attitude really defines our spring season. It's not perfect. The relationship is not perfect, but and your spouse knows that you're working towards that perfection. You'll start to develop this awareness of thinking about ways that you can express your love. What can you do? What can you say? And it comes natural. It's not something that you just do because, oh, I think I need to do this. It's, I want to do this. I want to say these things. I want to show my love for my spouse. And those actions are not self-centered either. So they focus on bringing like this new life to a marriage and building on the good that's already there. I'm going to read this quote from the book about springtime. So it says, positive attitudes trigger positive actions, and loving actions result in positive emotions. So those were our three things: our emotions, our attitudes, and our actions. You wrap those three things up together in that springtime of your positivity, and that will lead you to a springtime of marriage. There is a downside of spring. Everything is not glamorous, and that downside the book calls poison ivy. So you catch poison ivy in the springtime. I thought that was a cute comparison. But poison ivy are those irritations that pop up unexpectedly in your relationship. They will ruin your dinner date. They will ruin your vacation, but it does not change the season. So if you are experiencing poison ivy in your springtime season, talk about those irritations with your spouse. And when you talk about those irritations, you have to be open to change. So don't let poison ivy ruin the entire season. It can ruin a dinner date, it can ruin a vacation, but not the entire season. So our spring nurturing will lead us to that fun and warmth of summertime. But one thing that we have to remember for our springtime is that if we fail to follow through on new beginnings, we may skip right over spring, or we may skip right over summer and head directly to fall or back into winter. So just beware of those things. You have to follow through with those positive actions, those positive attitudes, and positive emotions. So if your marriage is currently in springtime, we want to know, what is your communication tactics? How do you communicate those irritations to your spouse when they pop up? Or tell us about how you express your love to your spouse. What do you say? What do you do? So comment that in a comment section, and I will catch you guys in the next video of summertime.